Life can be a noisy affair full of rushing here and there, deadlines to meet, and worries that crowd the mind like a busy marketplace. In the middle of all this chaos, a small voice inside us often whispers for a moment of peace. This is where prayer begins. It starts not with a grand ceremony, but with a simple need, a need to pause, a need to breathe. People turn to prayer because they are looking for an anchor in the stormy sea of their daily lives. It is a quiet decision to step away from the noise, even for just a few minutes, to find a space where they can simply be. The reasons for starting this journey are as many as there are people on this earth. Some pray when they feel lost, standing at a crossroads with no clear path ahead. They seek guidance, a little light to show them the next step. Others pray when their hearts are heavy with sadness, searching for a place to lay down their burdens. And then there are those who pray with hearts full of gratitude, wanting to say thank you for the simple joys of a sunny day, a kind word from a friend, or the food on their table. It is a universal language of the soul, spoken in moments of need and moments of joy. Prayer is not just for times of trouble, it is also for the quiet, ordinary days. It is a way to connect with something larger than ourselves, a way to make sense of our small part in this vast universe. Think of it like calling an old, dear friend. You don't only call when you need something, you call just to talk, to share your day, to feel connected. Prayer is that daily call. It is a conscious effort to build a relationship with the divine, with the universe, or with the deepest, wisest part of oneself. It is a habit of the heart that says, I am here and I am listening. So the first step into the world of prayer is often a very human one. It is born from our longing for connection, for meaning, and for a moment of quiet in a loud world. It doesn't require a special place or fancy words. It only requires a willing heart, a heart that is ready to stop, to look inward, and to begin a conversation. It is a simple turning towards a source of comfort and strength, a recognition that we do not have to face everything all alone. This is the gentle invitation that calls us to prayer. When a person closes their eyes to pray, the world outside seems to fall away. The sounds of traffic, the endless to-do lists, the worries about tomorrow, they all begin to fade into the background. In their place, a different kind of awareness dawns. This is the space where the real conversation happens. It is not always with words. Sometimes it is just a feeling, a quiet offering of one's thoughts and emotions. During prayer, we allow ourselves to be vulnerable. We can admit our fears without judgment and share our hopes without hesitation. It is a moment of pure honesty with ourselves and with whatever higher power we believe in. Inside this quiet space, a subtle shift begins to occur. The mind, which is usually racing, starts to slow down. The tangled knots of anxiety begin to loosen one by one. As you speak or simply feel your prayer, you are giving a name to your worries. And once you name them, they seem a little less powerful, a little less overwhelming. It is like tidying up a messy room. You are not getting rid of everything, but you are putting things in their proper place. This act of sorting through your thoughts and feelings brings a sense of clarity and calm that is hard to find anywhere else in our busy day. While praying, people often experience a feeling of being heard. It is not an audible voice that answers back, but a sense of deep, comforting presence. It feels as if you are not just talking into the void, but that your words, your thoughts, and your feelings are being received with love and understanding. This feeling of being listened to is incredibly powerful. It helps to ease the ache of loneliness that we all sometimes feel. It reassures us that no matter what we are going through, we are part of something much bigger, and our small voice matters in the grand scheme of things. Ultimately, the time spent in prayer is a time of transformation. It changes our perspective. The problems that seemed so large just a few minutes ago might now appear more manageable. A sense of peace settles over the heart like a soft blanket on a cold night. This is not because the problems have magically disappeared, but because our relationship with them has changed. We feel a renewed sense of strength, a quiet confidence that we have the courage to face whatever comes our way. This is the gentle work that prayer does within us, moment by moment, day by day. Let me tell you about a man named Raj, a shopkeeper in a bustling city. Every morning before he opens his shop, he sits on a small stool in a quiet corner. He doesn't say long, elaborate prayers. He simply closes his eyes and says, "Thank you for another day." Help me to be kind to everyone who walks through my door. This simple two-sentence prayer sets the tone for his entire day. He says it helps him see each customer not as a transaction, but as a person. He feels calmer, less irritable about the small frustrations of business, and his customers feel it too. His shop has become a place of warmth and welcome. Then there is a young student, Anjali, who was overwhelmed with the pressure of her final exams. Fear of failure kept her awake at night. She began a small ritual. Every night before sleeping, she would sit by her window, look at the stars and talk to the universe. She would talk about her fears, about the subjects she found difficult, and about her dream of becoming a teacher. She said that after her prayer, she felt a sense of release. The weight on her shoulders felt lighter. It didn't make her exams easier, but it gave her the peace of mind to study with focus and to sleep soundly, trusting that she had done her best. Consider an old woman, Mrs. Devi, who lives alone. Her children are grown and live far away. The silence in her house can be deafening at times. But every evening she lights a small lamp and chants a simple prayer she learned as a child. This daily ritual has become her companion. She says it fills her home with a feeling of warmth and presence. It connects her to her past, to her parents who taught her the prayer, and to a sense of continuity. The prayer is a thread that ties her days together, giving them structure and meaning. It reminds her that she is never truly alone. She is connected to generations of faith. These stories are not about grand miracles. They are about the small, everyday magic that unfolds when people make space for prayer. It is about finding a tool to navigate the challenges of life with a little more grace and a little less fear. For Raj, it brought kindness. For Anjali, it brought peace. For Mrs. Devi, it brought companionship. Daily prayer in its simplest form becomes a source of inner strength. It is a personal practice that slowly, quietly reshapes a person's inner world, helping them to face the outer world with a more hopeful and resilient heart. Prayer is a bridge. It is a bridge we build from our own hearts to something we feel is greater, wiser, and more loving than ourselves. This something does not have to belong to a specific religion. It can be God, as one tradition knows him. It can be the universe with its vast and mysterious energy. It can be nature with its cycles of life and renewal, or it can simply be the deepest, most authentic part of our own soul. Prayer is for everyone. It asks for no membership, no special creed. It only asks that you show up, that you open your heart, and that you are willing to connect. When we feel alone, cast adrift in our own little boats of worry, prayer is the oar that helps us row towards a shore of connection. It reminds us that we are all part of the same human family, all sharing the same sky, all walking under the same sun. When you pray for peace, you are joining a chorus of millions of others around the world who are also praying for peace. When you pray for strength, you are tapping into a universal well of courage that has sustained people for centuries. This sense of shared humanity brings immense comfort and helps dissolve the walls of isolation we sometimes build around ourselves. Hope is one of the most beautiful gifts of daily prayer. In our darkest moments, when it feels like all the lights have gone out, prayer is like striking a single match. It may be a small flame, but it is enough to show us that darkness is not all there is. It is an act of faith in the possibility of a better tomorrow. By consistently turning to prayer, we are nurturing a garden of hope within ourselves. We are watering the seeds of possibility and trust, even when the outside world looks barren. This hope becomes a resilient force, a quiet strength that helps us get up again after we have fallen. So, I encourage you to try it. You do not need to know the right words. Your heart knows the way. Start small. Find a quiet moment in your day, in the morning as the sun rises or at night before you sleep. Close your eyes and just speak from your heart. Talk about your day, share your worries, give thanks for one small thing. You may be surprised by what you find in that silence. You may find a friend, you may find comfort, you may find hope. And most of all, you may find yourself waiting to be heard. Just begin, that is all it asks.